space right now. You know, so you could literally be anywhere in the world. It's a million apps. You got Snapchat, TikTok, Clubhouse. I heard a lot of people like to talk on Clubhouse, but that's another space for another because we in the laugh house tonight. We in the laugh house tonight. Got a great show. I don't know. So I know I might not get a lot of people who agree with me, but you don't have to. If you are still here in 2020, 2020 wasn't that bad. Let me preface it by saying that. If you're able to say how bad 2020 was,
that's right.
It wasn't that bad.
That's right. That's right.
Now, me personally, 2020 been a good year for me because I just got off probation. I mean, it still feel like I'm on. It still kind of feel like I'm on curfew and things like that. But I just got off probation. I'm telling you, it's nothing that will humble you, bring you closer to God, just give you a new lease on life, like some mail coming to your house that say the United States of America versus your name. I know it's a lot of good law-abiding citizens on this particular, so you might not understand what I'm saying, but listen, I almost passed out at the mailbox. I had to take a knee like Kaepernick. I was like, oh my God. The United States of America versus Patrice DeVoe. The United States of America. All 50 states. Mm-hmm. These charges down in Fort Eustis, Virginia. I didn't do nothing to nobody in Nebraska. Go to Nebraska right now and try to find somebody that said Patrice DeVoe did something to him. You won't be able to do it. So 2020 has not been the best, but it sure as heck hasn't been the worst. I'm looking forward to when we like usher in 2021, sort of. I'm keeping my hopes high because sometimes you got to be careful what you pray for. A lot of times people are like, yes, I can't wait for 2021. Are you sure?
Right.
We couldn't wait for 2020. We was all looking forward to 2020.
And now.
So we might just need to take it day by day. But I'm happy to be back here on the East Coast. I was working on the West Coast for a couple of years, going back and forth between the West and the East. And I love a lot about the West Coast, especially the weather, but it's nothing like the East Coast. Things just make sense here to me on the East Coast. Like one thing about living in LA, I had a lot of people who were constantly trying to have me do things that go against my morals, my values, like my, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to get me to do things like go vegan. And I come from a good Southern home, okay? It's a lot of things that I can go to my mama's Thanksgiving and be, but a herbivore is not one of them. Vegan is like a cuss word in my family. It really is. And it's a clean comedy show. I should probably just say vegan for all the places where I actually want to put a cuss word. Like I take my chances on a missed deal in a spades game with my cousins before I go to my mama's house talking about, is it turkey meat in the greens? You know it is. It ain't pork. We just took the pork out for you a few years ago. I'll take all the meat out. And then they speak another language on the West Coast. I don't know if anybody is in here that's from the West Coast, but they speak a different language. Like I had a homegirl, she called me up and she was like, hey, Patrice, you want to ride with me to go get kimchi? I'm like, cool. Whose Filipino baby mom is that? And where are we taking her? You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, I'm up for an adventure. She's like, no, girl, kimchi is not a person. I was like, oh, well, do you snort it or smoke it? Y'all in these LA drugs. Like, I know how y'all get down over here. Like, no, Patrice, kimchi is Korean cabbage. I'm like, fool, why didn't you just ask me if I wanted to go out for lunch? And is it smoked turkey in the cabbage? Because you know I can't be no vegan. So I'm back over here on the East Coast, and I'm loving it. I mean, I'm getting into it with my family and stuff more than usual. My sister's pissed off at me for the holidays because my nephew was over my house, fell off his skateboard, chipped his tooth, had to take him to the emergency room. And she's pissed off at me. I'm like, this boy is 24 years old, 6'7". He's supposed to be somewhere in the NBA, crossed up by Steph Curry or letting a Kardashian ruin his life. Somehow making a better way for the family. Like, you let the spirit of Tony Hawk and the X Games lead you to destruction. I don't feel sorry for that fool at all. Like, and you shouldn't either. All you want for Christmas is chip toothpicks.
Oops.
I was like, listen, it's so funny because I was talking about, Laugh House that I charge extra because y'all see where I'm at, right? Where the money reside,
Money reside.
And that's all Humpty Dumpty, who allegedly fell off this brick wall they told me I had to put up. Oh, you in the background? Oh, they are strict over here at the Laugh House where the money reside. Oh my God. So just in case anybody was wondering, you don't have to adjust this. This is definitely no wigs, no makeup, no filter on the girl. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. I love being a natural sister. There's no shade to anybody. You can do whatever you want to do with yourself. I love being a natural sister, but I don't like the stereotypes that come with being a natural sister. People just talk to you crazy, asking me stupid stuff like, so do you like to burn incense? Yeah, when I'm trying to get the smell of weed out of my house before my mama come over here. Like, do you like to listen to Erykah Badu? Who don't? Like, just stupid stuff. People, it's like, people see you a certain aesthetic and they automatically assume that I'm going to show up to the function, virtual or otherwise, smelling like sandalwood, frankincense, and myrrh, something earthy or musty. And it's like, wait a minute, hold up. This is Dolce & Gabbana, okay? This is Marc Jacobs Decadence that I'm serving, okay? This is Victor Wolf Lotus Flower Bomb that I have brought with me. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I love, listen, I'm always going to get the oil man when he have the 4 for 15 special at the flea market. I'm always going to go see the oil man. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to wear the Michelle Obama, the Queen of Sheba, the lick me all over. I'm going to wear that too, but don't just assume that that's how I'm coming to the function.
Yeah.
I love the fact that right now people are able to have the time to, educate themselves, get new skills, things like that. But I just feel like we have to be honest with ourselves for a moment. And listen, all jobs, you cannot listen, everything ain't for virtual learning, okay? You cannot. I just saw an advertisement. You can get your culinary degree online. I said, I beg your cordon bleu because first of all, some jobs require practical application. I don't want somebody that can make gravy in theory. I need to know that that's something you actually know how to do. I promise you, nobody on here, you wouldn't go to a surgeon who did their entire residency virtually, would you? Would you hop on the table? I wouldn't. Take my chances at the daggone game of operation winner of 10 years. Because people would be having these awards for stuff that you don't even know is, I'm the operation champion 15 times in a row. Like, okay, give me that guy before the person that just did it in virtual reality. You want to make me a believer that you can get any type of education and training, you can do a good job from online? Give me virtual police. Can we start? Can we start? Can we test out virtual police work?
Right.
I would love for a police officer right now to FaceTime me. Mr. Vo, we heard that you had too much weed. You had too much weed. Could you come down in and please do virtual? I'm just saying, do virtual police work. That would make me a believer. I want to see how that works. So, I mean, it's hard being me because I'm O negative and people always want a piece of you. Everybody wants you when you're O negative. I'm scared to go to places and they find out that I'm O negative. They will bleed you dry like a vampire. Oh, so y'all don't know who the universal donor is. Oh, y'all gonna act like y'all don't need me on here? Okay, that's good. That's really good. That's why I won't be visiting the Red Cross this year. I didn't know y'all was gonna be this dang on much fun in my living room. I found out that I have one trigger in relationships now. I just had to cut them loose. Because it's something that just really, I don't know, it just sends me to the moon. If I ask you, this is a relationship deal breaker for me. If I ask you what you're thinking about and you say nothing, because it's a lie, it's a bold-faced lie. You can't think about nothing. I'd rather you say, I'm thinking about nothing that pertains to you. I'm thinking about nothing that I want to share with you. I'm thinking about stabbing you with this plastic fork in your jugular. Give me that. That's things that I could believe. But thinking about nothing, matter of fact, let's put it to the test. Right now, I want you to close your eyes if you're on this Zoom. Right now, close your eyes, if you will. And I want you for 3 seconds to think about nothing. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. I guarantee you just now, you were either thinking about 1, 2, and 3, or the word nothing. You can't think about, even when you sleep, you're thinking about something. It's all a dream. You're thinking all the time. I used to believe that there's anybody who's just, we was going strong all quarantine until he told me he was thinking about nothing, and now he is nothing more to me. I hope that y'all had a good time. That's my time, but it's a lot more funny in the show. You still have time to invite somebody. We can still let people in the room. Okay, the doors of the church are still open. The doors are still open. And so, with that being said, I am Patrice DeVoe. If you enjoyed any Brandon Locke BS, see, I kept it clean. Feel free to follow me on all social media at But Is She Funny. Y'all ready for some more comedy?
Woo-hoo!
That sounded like it was only one of the 7 people, so I need. I'm not about to do this for this person that I'm about to bring up. I like this individual entirely too much for y'all to play, but we're gonna try it one more time. I need all 11 of y'all to unmute your phone. We can see you. Like I did, I gotta start calling people out by name. Michelle, unmute your phone. Dominique, unmute your phone. This must be what the teachers virtually teaching gotta go through. But listen, I'm so excited to bring this next brother up. We've been working together for years now. He's one of my favorite people in the DMV. Super hilarious. Straight out of DC. He's been doing Attack of the Comics more years than I know. He's one of the greatest hosts that I have seen in the DMV, which I don't know why he wasn't hosted tonight. But you're going to see what I'm talking about. We have a show together called The Black Think Tank with Anthony and Patrice. He is a beloved member of the squad. I need y'all to like type something or make some noise if you're unmuted. I was salad face, Lord. So I can present to you the way he deserves the one, the only, the incomparable Haywood Turnip Seed.
Hey. All right. Thank you, Patrice. Keep it going for Patrice, everybody. Patrice Duveau. And here, rock it out like that. That's on a Friday night. And she kept it clean. Look at that. Look at that.
Haywood, you know.
Hey, I understand. They asked me if I could keep it clean. I was like, all right, I guess I got to take a shower before the show. And just so you know, I did. I took the shower. I smell like peppermint soap. This is that point where it's like, I love doing shows. Thank you guys for being here. It's a virtual, it's a Friday night. As comedians, we always say we could have done this from our living room. And look, this is, please don't ever say that again. We could have done this from our living room. But I'm glad you're coming from your living room. This is really cool. We're coming from our living rooms because we can't come together ever again in public anyway. Which is wild because I saw that movie in 1984 and I was like, I guess I should have read the book because I missed something. Like, what did I miss here? I was like, wow. And man, we're doing exactly that. Like, we virtual homeschooling, virtual comedy shows. Speaking of virtual homeschooling, this is great. I'm so glad. It's Friday, December 18th. Happy holidays. We are at the break. I have been taking fourth grade and second grade math tests. For the past 3 months. I was upset. I got an 84 on the. I say because I helped him fill in the answers. We got an 84 on the math test, and I was like, teacher, excuse us. We have to have a conference on this one. I can't take this. He was like, well, your son got an 84. And I was like, oh, that's a lie because we filled in 100% of the answers from Google. So every last answer came from your internet. So somebody gonna give me my last 16%. See how I made 100? 84 plus 16 is 100. Give me I know fourth grade math. I know that much. Don't judge me. Got me feeling like I'm doing reports all over again. Like, is the crayon just right on that? They said use purple. I was like, we got pink and we got orange and we put them together. You better enjoy this. You better take this red and this blue and combine it. If Prince can do it, so can you. But I got to give it up for teachers. If there are any educators in this room, props to you all because teachers, educators, my goodness, I don't bow much. I do bow before God and teachers. Because teachers have to get everybody on the same page. They have to teach all the kids. Even if they're different, they have to teach all the children the same way. I can't get my children, which have the same mother and father, to all do the dishes at the same damn time. Okay. I can't get them to do no dishes at the same time, no chores at the same time. I'm like, I wish I was an African dictator because they could get their kids to fight wars. And get other people's children to fight wars. I can't get my kids. I was like, oh my goodness. And they're so bright. I got to give it up for them. They're bright. They doing their best right now. They on their break. But I say everything is virtual. All their classes, their math classes, their language arts, or was it literacy? Which is, I don't know if they're literate or not. I can't. I really don't know. Because they talk to Siri more than, I'm like, they talk to Siri more than they talk to us. They got tablets. They got Apple pens and laptops. My kid came downstairs the other day. Excuse me. That's because I was drinking. Excuse me. I apologize. I was. They said keep it clean. They didn't say don't drink. I'm out here doing the Lord's work. Shout out. So I said that to say, I was talking about them. my son had a tablet in one hand, right? His tablet in one hand. He had his brother's tablet in the other hand. He was trying to get him to play a game, but he was coming downstairs. And the way he had the tablets in each hand and the way the light was coming on his face, I was like, look at you coming down with tablets downstairs, looking like Moses coming down Mount Sinai. You got the glow on your face. What you got on there? Commandments? And then he was like, I don't know, what are commandments? And I was like, wait a minute. You go to a faith-based school. What are commandments? He was like, is that anything like Roblox? I was like, it's actually, in a way, it's a set of rules. I was like, he was like, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's ask Siri. So he hit Siri, goes, Siri, what are commandments? And I was like, oh my God, he gonna ask Siri and not ask me. I'm standing right in his face. I'm standing right here. I'm like, what kind of father am I? Am I a good father? And he was like, let's find out. Siri, is he a good father? Google Haywood Turnipseed Jr. And I was like, oh Lord, if you're going to ask anybody if I'm a good father, ask my girlfriend Alexa. Alexa, my good father. And she was like, she just started playing it. I love it when you call me Big Pop. Hey, somebody like it. Every time I come in the house, Siri's like, Daddy's home. My kids are like, Daddy's home. So, yeah, Jeff, I see you in the chat. You are next, sir. I'm hearing myself talk, and I'm hearing my voice come back. I'm hearing it, and it's the echo is. I hope you guys aren't hearing the echo, but I hope it's deep. I realize that. I realize my voice is deep. Sound like a radio announcer. People always like, you sound like the guy from the Allstate commercial, and I'm like, I do, because you are in good hands with these jokes. People say I sound like the brother from the Green Mile, and then that's when I was like, you think I sound like Michael Clark Duncan? And they were like, oh, no, you sound like the brother that he portrayed in the Green Mile. And I was like, oh, you think I sound like a slave? Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, zippity doo dah. But my kids, right? They take the cake because we were watching The Lion King recently. I was making them watch the live action version because they were like, we seen the cartoon. And I was like, you're gonna be a good consumer and watch the other version too. So we started. We were watching the live version, and they was like, Daddy, you know who you sound like? And I was like, who do you guys think I sound like? They were like, you sound like Mufasa. And I was like, really? You guys think I sound like Mufasa? So I put my chest out, and I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute, you think I sound like Mufasa? Which one of your uncles is trying to take what little bit I got? Which one of your uncles is trying to take me into the back alley, which is the valley of a herd of wild crackheads, so they can run over me? I was like, which one of y'all trying to take all I got? After my oldest son chimed in, right? He's the genius. He chimed in, and he goes, you don't sound like Mufasa, Pop. I was like, well, who do you think I sound like? And he was like, Darth Vader.
Oops.
Exactly, sure. I was like, because you don't even know they're the same person. It's the same voice. It's the same person. It's just a different movie, but the voice was the same. I was like, you's a genius. It might be true what I'm hearing up the block. And he was like, what are you hearing up the block? And I was like, that I might not be your father. Hakuna Matata. Because it means no life insurance. You are out of the will, sir. So I'm talking about my family, so now I might as well talk about my family makeup. My wife and I, we live, let me back up a little bit. We are the Turnipseeds. Turnipseed is a unique name. I know that. People always, when I was a kid, Turnipseed Jr., you named after your father. And I was like, well, at least I know who he is. Don't even worry about it. And they was like, yeah, you know where he is too, because he was in prison. Touche, Jackson, touche. So people kid me about my name, right? And I can take it. But what was funny once was I have a friend from South Africa, right? Cool brother, right? Cool brother. He speaks, how does he say? Kosa, right? He speaks the language that they spoke in the Black Panther. I got to get it right. Kosa. So they speak that. And he was like, turnip seed is one of those names that is so unique. I believe it is Kosa. And I was like, you think my name is Kosa? And this is the language they spoke in the Black Panther, in Wakanda. So it's not only a fake African language, it's actually a real one. So I was proud that he was saying that turnip seed is like a Kosa name. And I was like, well, what does it mean in Kosa? And he was like, it means that your ancestors could not run very fast. I was like, oh! I was like, oh, okay, Nelson. What kind of name is Nelson? I was like, maybe if you had had us there still, we could have blocked the British. Wouldn't have needed no help. What's happening, Anthony? I see you. I don't mean to be boring you, brother. I'm sorry. I could, because this is what's funny about being in the living room. You can see people's faces, and then I saw him yawn, and I was like, I'm sorry. He's my friend. He done heard most of these jokes before, so he's like, what you got new? Nothing. It's the pandemic. Don't turn your camera off, Anthony. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's only 5 of us in here. You go, come on now. Don't do that. That's what I'm taking my ball and going home. Taking my internet and getting up out of here. You ain't gonna do me like that. That is my good friend Anthony. He knows my children. He's the host of, he and Patrice together host the show that we do, Black Think Tank, which you can see Tuesdays on Facebook. It is a wonderful show. My wife and I love being a part of it. And they know my family. They know our makeup. I was telling you guys how many of turnip seeds, how many seedlings they are, right? So it's my wife and I, and it's how many seedlings. We have 4 in total. And 3 live in the house. 1 lives on his own. And it's, dynamics, 3 boys and a girl. We have 3 sons and a daughter. And I say that because I love all my children the same. And I say that because when my wife was pregnant, people would always ask me, like, what do I want my wife to have? Like, I had a preference in their sex, if I wanted her to have a boy or a girl. And I would be like, that's okay. That's a cool question. I don't really have a preference because all I want my wife to have are healthy professional athletes. That's all I want. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys know this, but like Serena Williams crip walked in front of the Queen of England. I mean, she did a crip walk full on. You know what? I'm here with my braids and my racket. You guys might have tried to sell us, but look what you bought. I mean, like Naomi Osaka, right? She went to the U.S. Open, and she had a different Black Lives Matter victim, or I should say victim, Black Lives Matter on her face representation at the U.S. Open, starting conversation. I mean, Colin Kaepernick, right? He took a knee, and out of taking a knee, he ultimately got a shoe deal. Talk about a revolution. I mean, that is called reparations. Are you serious? That's a shoe deal? I was like, are you, what? Yes, please, give me my money. Hey, the revolution may not be televised, but that's because it's going to be at the bank. Shoot, I want my money. I wish somebody would try to do something. Well, I've done that hard, but I wish somebody would talk. I can't even get anybody to talk Jack on the internet. I'd be playing those video games. I'm like, say something. I'm gonna sue all of Sony. Because it's that time, right? We have to admit, like, it's that time. It's a strange time. Patrice is absolutely right that she was talking about it's 2020. And if we have made it through thus far, then we are in a really good space and place. You know what I mean? We are in the now times. We remember the before times. That's when we didn't have to wear a mask everywhere we went. That's when we didn't look like comic book characters everywhere we went. I feel like superheroes. Every time I go somewhere, I'm like, who was that masked person? Like, everybody's the Lone Ranger. I went to the liquor store the other day, right? And I had my mask on, and the guy was at the door. You know, he was actually taking temperatures at the door. And he was like, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you have your mask on. I need to take your temperature. I was like, you're glad I have my mask on? And he was like, yeah. I was like, that is amazing how much time has changed, because last December when I came in here with a face mask on, you was like, get out. You was all like, get up out of this space with your mask on. I was like, it is 22 degrees outside. I want some Hennessy and some warmth. What is wrong with you? And now he's like, Black Lives Matter. Which they always have. You know what I mean? It's that, you know, but I'm glad we're saying that. I'm glad we live in this time. It's like living in another dimension. And I say that because, you know, I do think that there are like multiple dimensions out there. NASA has recently said they may have recently received radio signals from other planets. They even think that they have found parallel dimensions, right? They think that they see multiple dimensions. And they believe that one of these dimensions, time, is actually rolling backwards. And I'm like, that is an amazing place to be, because that means that there is a dimension out there, a place in space where I am always on time. I am never late. I am always early. But I probably get in trouble for being early, because, you know, they're like, you're always early, you carbon-based people. Y'all don't know how to come here late. That's cool though. If you didn't get that joke, because the punchline was earlier. it's like Memento, you know. It's like Tenet. The punchline and the person have to meet up, but sometimes y'all just don't know y'all already have. Right. Woo! This be killing in the 4th grade math club, but I don't know. Laugh House is like, we too good to laugh at a joke. So in closing, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and get ready to turn the stage over. So Jeff, please, I know Jeff is ready. This has really been fun. I want to thank the Laugh House for having us here. Let me tell you guys a joke, my closing joke, because I'm talking all this junk. My closing joke is literally 2 straws are hanging out together, and one straw was upset about, you know, having to go to work, and the other straw said, "Don't worry about it. It's our job to suck." It's clean. I clean that up because usually that joke involves sex workers. Michelle, like, oh, that was close. I didn't make you think it. I just said. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here. My name is Haywood Tatum C. Jr. You can find me on those interwebs at Woody C. or at Haywood Tatum C. Jr. But now I'd like to turn the show over to a new friend of mine, a rather light-hearted comic. When I say light-hearted, that's because he's just light-skinned. He was recently featured on Comedy Central. He was also on recorded a special called Kevin Hart's The Next Level. It was featured on Kevin Hart's Heart of the City. He's also appeared on Laughs on Hulu and Fox, and at a few comedy festivals, the Atlanta Laughing Skull Comedy Festival and the Boston Comedy Festival, as well as Limestone and Oddball. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage his mother's most handsomest comedian and one of my new good friends. I love how he has that $sign in front of his name. Money, 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 money. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Laugh House Virtual Room, Mr. Jeff Horst.
Uh-oh. Hear you.
It's amazing. Can you hear me? What's the uh-oh?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
All right. Oh.
There you go.
It's feeling like the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we can't hear.
Got that Teddy Riley. When you came closer, we could hear you.
Oh, you might need to take out your earbud. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you probably have to take out your AirPods.
You need your computer. Use your computer.
Money.
You need to turn off your computer and restart it.
No, don't do that.
Don't do a full restart.
Getting money though. We got a production assistant.
We got a
over there.
production
Hey,
assistant.
Who ain't getting money?
Go ahead, Jeff Horst. Got that Teddy Riley.
This work.
He was like, all right, here I go again. Hey, he got real tech support.
Only makes this funnier.
That only makes this funnier.
Mom, could you come make my computer work?
We got you, Jeff. We hear you. Come on.
What can? Anything?
Yes.
All right.
There we go.
I was trying to, not have the neighbors hear this comedy show too, but I guess we're gonna have to get rid of the AirPods and just I got a neighbor whose window is right there, so he just thinks that I'm just yelling at strangers. Like this. We gotta move forward. I feel like we were entertained by just listening to Haywood's laugh. That was the textbook laugh that I've ever heard. If an audio engineer needs just a good laugh and a movie, it was just amazing. Not everybody has that ability to where when you hear them laugh, it makes you happy. Some people does the opposite. Some people got weird laughs, but as comedians, we can't make fun of people with weird laughs, even if you're a snorter, like we gotta take what we can get. That's understand. I just gotta take your weird body functions as a sign we're doing it. Anyways, my name is Jeff Horst. I from Detroit. And growing up, I went to school with a couple of white people. I went to school with the type of white people that didn't know they were white. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. You guys know. One guy used to wear FUBU. You're like, listen, buddy, that's not for us. Or by us, actually.
Right?
I'd see him putting do-rags on his head. I'm like, our hair doesn't even do that. We're not getting waves. Relax. He put Murray's grease in his hair. He'd walk around with a Diane brush. I'm gonna be honest, there's 10 of us here. You know what? Some of you are wondering how I know it. I don't even know what those last two things are, honestly. That joke, I just Googled stuff only black people mess with.
Hilarious.
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I'm joking, kinda. All right. I'm in a relationship with the sound engineer that you saw come in and try to fix my microphone. That was my girlfriend. She's another comedian as well. I don't know how, and this is only as a comedian, but as a comedian, I don't know how somebody could date somebody who is not a comedian. I know stereotypically people will say that they don't know how that works. That's just people with egos, I guess. But besides that, I don't know how it would, because nobody understands all the ins and outs of somebody else's job. So how would I explain to just a regular, normal, not comedian person, how would I explain to her that, doing a Zoom show for 10 people is more important than meeting their parents? You know what I mean? Like, how do you explain that? How does being a comedian ever sound professional? They think that you are either Kevin Hart or you are homeless. They're just like, but you're not on Netflix, so why do you? What do you mean? You're not a household name, so how could you ever have things to do? I don't know. We don't. I'm not. I guess you could say I'm not old fashioned. I don't. I support other people getting married, but me and my girlfriend, we're not. We don't really believe in marriage. What we do every morning, we just wake up and we pinky swear not to bang other people, and that works. That really does. It's way cheaper than marriage. I don't know why people get all that jewelry involved. I don't even wear rings. I'm supposed to wear a ring for the rest of my life now. I'm supposed to wear a different form of jewelry just because? That's gibberish. That makes no sense. I don't know. Some things I think we view as nice things today, and I think we forget the history for a lot of things. Like just because something might be it might be a nice gesture to do this today, it doesn't mean it always was like that. Like for paying for a woman's meal. I know there's women that are watching this now that probably don't want me to finish this joke. But the thing is that today it's a nice thing to do. But that doesn't mean it's always been a nice thing to do. Why do you think it started? Do people really think that it started because men just couldn't bear to see a woman they loved lay a finger? No, women weren't allowed to have jobs.
Right.
If you didn't eat, you died. We wanted to sleep with you, so we don't want you to die, so we had to buy you food. That's the gentleman romantic way that we got to this tradition of us paying for your meal. But you don't want to act. I get it. We don't want to act like that. I'll take whatever free things you can get in this world. I fully support it. I'm the type of person when you could get free samples at places, I wouldn't even do. Some people do the little fake walk around and like act like they're rediscovering it. I just say, how many of these can I have until you're fired? That's what I say. I say, how much do you care about your job? Do you care about not much? Okay, thank you. I will take all of this. I don't turn down free things. I don't know. Some people might misunderstand the point of the last joke talking about paying for a meal. I don't want people to think I'm sexist. This is 2020 taught me some interesting things, as the way that the country is going. It seems like, basically obviously if you hate all women, that's sexist, right? But if you hate white women, that's progressive. You know how many sexist comedians just added the word white woman in front of their already sexist joke, and they were like, wow, I'm woke now. I didn't even know that. I was sexist 2 weeks ago, and I just put white woman in the front of my joke, and now all of a sudden I got my finger on the pulse of this country. Isn't that amazing? Oh man, it's great. It's great. I don't know. I'm not. I try to. I try to be grateful. Like I'm blessed to still have both sets of grandparents around today. I talk to them on Zoom and FaceTime whenever I can. I have fun conversations with my grandpa though. I remember this one back when I was growing up. He would say, "When I was your age, we were so poor we had to put water in our cereal." That's disgusting, Gramps. Fun fact about cereal, you can eat it dry. It's good right out of the box. Not sure if you're poor. I am sure you made poor decisions. Sometimes I get caught up in the conspiracy theories, I don't know. Like, here's one that a lot of people, I'm late to figuring things out. So maybe you already heard this, but did you know if you listen to heavy metal music backwards, you hear the devil, right? And here's a new one that I just now found out. If you listen to country music backwards, you hear racism. I'm joking. You can just play that forward, actually. Have you seen 2020? Rednecks aren't that subtle. Okay, that's not really their thing. They're not hiding anymore.
Wow.
Oh man, but no, man, I get into some conspiracy theories. It's great. Like, do you guys? I don't know. Do you guys believe in Amish people? Sheep.
They sell
sheeple. I just like to call people sheeple. It's just a funny online word. No, I don't believe in Amish people. I don't. This is what I think it is. I think Amish people are poor white people making excuses. That's what I think. That's what I think.
No.
I think Amish people started a long time ago. A husband and a wife had a simple disagreement, argument about finances. The wife says, "Honey, I don't think we have money for the light bill next month." And he's just like, "Listen, we don't believe in electricity anymore. Stop complaining and sew me some socks. How about that?" It's like, "I'm white. I'm not allowed to be poor. This is my religion now." Okay. The system can't fail me. You ever what? I get caught up in the conspiracy theories, and not all of them are, some of them maybe I just made up. So I don't know if that qualifies as a conspiracy theory or me just being a weird paranoid person. But I watch some of these commercials, and I like to trail where the money goes from what is being advertised. Like, for example, you ever see a commercial that is for a product, but not for a company, just for the existence of a thing? You ever see a milk commercial? They don't even say, they don't say buy milk from this person or go to this store to buy milk. They're just like, milk. Huh? That's it. That's the whole slogan. Milk.
California dairy.
Do you know how much money you have to not even care where you buy this product from? It's just like, figure it out. I get the money. My last name's Milk. Just buy it. I get paid. I don't care. No other product does that. No other product is just like hats. Sometimes your head is cold. Cars, screw walking, cars. No and sometimes if a product fixes a problem, then we forget that there shouldn't have even been a problem. Like now everybody in the country seems to have like a water filter, a Brita water filter. That just comes with having to be an adult with a house now, is having to clean the water. How is that not a more popular conspiracy thing? How do we just accept as an entire country that there's entire aisles of the grocery store that's like, oh yeah, that's the government's trying to kill you section. Yeah, we get the water from the government and then we have to clean the government water. Why did they give it to us dirty? You're asking too many questions. I try to get impressed with the tiny things in life, and I don't think everybody is all the time. I think we get older, we forget things. Like I get impressed with animals, like sometimes we forget, like the parrot, right? We have birds that can talk and nobody cares. Nobody cares. As a matter of fact, when I tell people that, most people's response is, yeah, man, those birds are always talking. Oh, how does that make it less impressive? If your cat just said hi, you would go insane. You wouldn't just be like, oh, well, finally I learned it. I don't understand. In the first Dr. Dolittle movie, they didn't even have a parrot. It was the only animal they should have had talking.
Right.
Somehow they forgot about it.
Wow.
I like cartoons. I like watching cartoons as an adult even more, because it makes me question what I saw, how I'd missed what the cartoon was about. Sometimes they have hidden messages in front of you, like Scooby-Doo. You guys know what Scooby-Doo is really about, right? Scooby-Doo is a show that shows you how far white people go to snitch. They're solving mysteries nobody's paying them to solve. Police put them on a payroll. Nobody asked for them to intervene. They're just going on a tattletaling tour of the world. I'm from Detroit, okay? Scooby-Doo would never work in Detroit. Jinkies, I know who robbed the liquor store.
Yeah.
bam, now you're dead. All right. Know when to be quiet. Oh man. You know how many, you guys are fun. I'll tell you this. I don't know if this is funny, but it's a comedy show, so I guess it should be. That's you guys know how many times I've said that joke in front of a white audience where they were there's 4 times. I'll tell you how many times. 4 times that a white woman, I don't make the rules, I'm not being, this is a true story, where a white woman approached me after the show to tell me that they've never heard of the stereotype that white people are tattletales. Okay. 4 times. Then my brain explodes, and this is after a show, so now I don't have to pretend that I like them anymore. You know what I mean? And now you already laughed. Nothing right? matters anymore. If you're a bad person, I can tell you now. So then this is what happened. The last time I got too fed up with it. So I was just like, okay, so you haven't heard of that stereotype. Maybe there's other things you've heard of. Like, have you heard of white privilege? She's like, oh, I don't believe in white privilege. I'm like, oh, that's convenient. You know what's a pretty nice privilege of mine is not knowing all of the negative things other people think about me. Do you honestly think that there's any black person out there that hasn't heard all of their negative stereotypes? Do you think that there's ever going to be a time where I have a conversation with a black man and he tells me, hold on, white people have been saying what about us? How long has that been going on? Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. I need to get to the bottom of that. Right. I'll end you guys with this, guys. We'll get out of here in a little bit. Hey, I like in the Scooby-Doo joke, sometimes I'll have people that get upset because I killed an imaginary dog in that joke. And I'm not saying that this world is getting too PC, but it was an imaginary dog. So whatever. I'll kill another imaginary dog in a joke. It's imaginary, relax. Everybody calm down. I like dogs. One time, me and my girlfriend, we went to the Michigan State Fair, which if you're in a boring state, you might go to the state fair. If you're not, in California, they probably don't even have one. Why would they ever look forward to that? They can just go outside and be in sunshine and call it a day. But no, in Michigan, we would go to the Michigan State Fair. And obviously, it's only whites that go to the state fair. And so I'm there, and they had a dog show, and they had all these amazing, they had these talented dogs who were seeing who could jump the furthest. They were well trained, and they were competing against each other, and it was very entertaining to watch. And then I was just thrown off. I was surprised at what they said when they took a break during the show. They took a break, and they told everybody to take off their hats and put their hands over their hearts because it was time for us to honor veterans returning from war. So I'm not a bad person. I'll honor veterans. I couldn't find them. I was looking around trying to see where the veterans were. And then I see that they walked across the field, dogs in camouflage t-shirts. Nope. That's not, no, you don't get to say, that dogs are patriotic. You don't. Right. I love dogs. They're not patriotic. A dog would poop on the American flag. It doesn't see colors. It has no idea what that is. A dog barely likes its owner half of the time. You think it has love for a country? No, you love America, and you're putting that on your dog. What is your dog, Catholic now too? What else are you going to put on your dog? That's not how it works. Okay, and this is what it is. I thought about it. So these dogs, they're getting trained to find bombs, right? So they'll sniff to find a bomb, and then when they get the bomb, they get a dog treat, and then they return from war, and they see that people give other dogs those same treats for no reason. Imagine being one of those dogs, just like you're giving the war biscuits to everybody. I earned those war biscuits. But now I'm analyzing this too much, so everybody thinks that I'm like a terrorist. I'm just at the show just laughing at all of these things going on, and people think I'm a bad person. Then they started playing patriotic music that I'm pretty sure the dogs did not know the words to. Like, this is for you. Admit it. This isn't about the dogs. It's just like, I'm proud to be an American, but at least I know I'm free. I'm like, the dog isn't free.
Isn't free.
It has an owner, has a leash. Is this the dog national anthem? I'm taking a knee. I don't respect the dog anthem. I don't respect this dog anthem. All right. Thank you guys very much.